How's it going, everybody? Triarius Wargaming here. So I wanted to show you the latest project I've finished. I just finished it this morning, actually, right before work, doing the basing. And this is my chain of command Panzer Grenadier Platoon with a couple support options. So I made this army to be the opposition force for the U.S. troops I was doing. I really, I wasn't sure how I'd like doing World War II stuff. It's a new period for me. I actually really fell in love with the period and a lot of different aspects of, wargaming this period and collecting and painting. So I'd like to take you through the platoon here that I've done, get you some close-ups, and tell you some of my thoughts here. So these troops are made from Warlord Games plastics, the overcoat plastics, a Waffen SS sprue, some Warlord metals, and then some Empress metals. So with the Panzer Grenadiers, you basically have two MG42 squads in each section, or two MG42 teams in each squad, and then three squads for each, and three squads in the platoon. So, yeah, here's that first kind of LMG squad here. Here's the gunner. And I really wanted to do these guys as generic as possible. Then we got the second part of the squad, or the second squad behind them, and the third one there, and then their counterparts over here. So all the ones on this side, these are all the 5-man squads. Over here, they're the 4-man squads. So there's like 2 riflemen, the machine gunner, and then a loader. Who I usually have my loaders carrying ammunition, so you kind of know they're the loader, the assistant, the gunner's assistant, and the rifleman shooting. And then you've got your squad leaders. So I just put them in the back here. They're armed with a submachine gun and a Panzerfaust. So those are my 3, my corporals. I'm forgetting the German term. It's not a corporal. Is it an Obergefreiter or a Gefreiter? I can't remember off the top of my head. Then we got the platoon commander here. I really like this miniature. This is a War Games, a Warlord Games figure here. They're kind of winter commander. I like this guy a lot. I think he came out nicely. The coat looks a little better in person. The highlights and shading aren't super coming through over the camera. But yeah, this was a really cool miniature to do. I ended up doing, I originally got the overcoats because I got them for free, actually, and then I also didn't want to do a ton of camo. I ended up painting a fair amount of camo for this army anyways. And what I was going for is the splinter camo. So these were, supposed to be regular here. They weren't, Waffen SS. This was kind of my attempt at splinter camo because I believe, the SS until 1945 really, had the patent on, like your P dot camos and stuff. So I tried to paint splinter camo. This was my first time ever painting camo on actual clothing. For my World War I stuff, I did some camo helmets. This was my first time trying to paint a camo pattern on clothing. I'm not really how well this portrays splinter camo, but this is kind of the best I could do right now without spending a ton of time. So going along with the commander actually is a Panzer Shrek team. So that was the shooter, and then the ammo carrier, the loader goes along with them too. And yeah, you can see the camo helmet there. And, the goal for this army is, a 1944 army to 1945 to fight against my U.S. troops. So one thing, I like how the troops themselves came out. I think they look pretty good for the most part, honestly. I painted these fairly fast. You know, here's another one of my camo attempts. Again, trying to do the splinter camo. I like how these troops came out. What I don't love is the basing, which I actually like just did it this morning. I was trying to experiment with something new, and I might have to totally redo the basing on these because I don't love it now that I'm looking at it. My goal was to try and do a forest basing kind of system. I wanted them to look like they were in a forest. So I read online people use, you know, like oregano and stuff. So this is probably my best smelling army. I put a bunch of oregano on it, on the bases, as well as some flock. I honestly, looking at it now that I'm home from work, I don't like it. You know, let me know what you think, but I want to redo it. I kind of wish I had just done one test base instead of just going ahead and doing the whole army full steam. You know, I did this in the morning again. I was a little groggy, so yeah, I wasn't thinking straight. I should have just done one test base. I don't love this basing. I think I might have to live with it or try and figure out a solution to this because I'm not happy, to be honest, but what are you going to do? So that was the platoon, you know, that was the base platoon that you get for the game before you add on supports. You got your commander, your Panzer Grenadier team, and then your regular infantry teams, and that puts you at 33 miniatures for the basic platoon. And then we got the support options. So here we've got the infantry support gun with five crew members and a junior leader. So yeah, these guys are in the snow gear. I got the winter gear because I just thought it looked good. Again, you know, I don't love this basing. I gotta find a way to improve on the basing, I think. I just did these other guy. You know, this guy is going to be the officer. You know, I have these figures. These are going to be the crew. And, you know, that guy can count as one or two. It doesn't really matter to me. And I guess he would just count as, I don't know. So I could have this guy count as two if we got the 5 crew. And this guy could be something else. I got to look through the rules again and see what the different support options are. He could be like the adjutant or something, I don't know. Or this guy could be the adjutant, but these are, you know, extra figures that can fit in the army some way as different support options. There do have to be 5 guys attached to the gun with the junior leader. So one of these two could be the junior leader with the gun and serve different roles. Or if I don't select this option, you know, I got extra figures that could do whatever. I don't have the lists out in front of me, but there are different options there. So I got some options with them. Now I've got back here, we got a extra Panzer Grenadier team, which is pretty cheap in the rule set. I think there may be you know, they don't cost a ton of points or whatever to bring on board. So that, you know, that might be an easy option. You know, that might be a good option facing the allies because I got some tanks for the allies to do. And then I did the half track. They are Panzer Grenadiers, so they do need a half track. This is my take on it. Oh, and I do have to do the ropes in the front. Mea culpa on that one. This is my attempt at a half track. I know by late war, like, they're mostly kind of camo. I did this in gray, and maybe we can get some close-ups here. I did this one as kind of a base sort of gray, and then did a lot of weathering. And I did this entirely through brushes and standard products I had on my desk, like just regular paint and washes. There's nothing fancy on this, and this took me about 20 minutes to do, all told, if that. Like, I blasted this out super quickly. The interior, I didn't spend a ton of time on. The stuff hanging off the sides, like, I didn't really spend a ton of time on it. But I got this thing done super, super fast. And I love this little half track. I think it's awesome. I want to do more half tracks. And doing this army has made me want to do, you know, I want to add some panzers, some tanks to this army because I just had so much fun doing these guys. And I want to do the panzers gray, like that half track. whether, you know, I know, and again, I know that they started they had camouflaged them by this point mostly. I just like the gray tank look, to be honest, and I want, you know, the color schemes to match up. So this is kind of my work, you know, I got some US stuff to finish up, but this is my Germans basically done. This is what I had budgeted for the year to do. But this project has kind of got me a little hooked on the World War II stuff. Now, I am mainly an ancient gamer, and that's kind of where my hot interest lies, you know, with the Romans especially. This year, I'm not doing a ton of Romans. I think I got all my medievals really to do, like the Vikings and all the shit I showed yesterday, and my French and Indian War stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not sure if how much more World War II stuff are going to fit in this year, unless I get some vehicles. But I'm also kind of at my budget. I've exceeded my miniatures budget for this year for kind of by a wide margin. To be honest, I really should not buy more stuff, but I'm just might have to get a couple more vehicles if I can just do them up really fast like this one. So yeah, next year I really want to do North Africa. I got the kind of European stuff, the 1944-45 European theater stuff, Western Front, because I've got a friend who I know is really interested in that period, and he loves the U.S. versus Germans. And I think for a lot of people in the U.S., that is what we think of when we think of World War II. Honestly, I'm kind of more interested in other theaters and periods, etc. But I got this army because it was accessible to other players who might be interested in World War II, and to bring them into wargaming. Basically, that was the goal with this army. You know, I had some broader plans with it already. Where I work, I've got some people interested actually specifically in the World War II stuff. I've kind of been trying to hook them in here. So that's why I assembled this army. My real passion is some of the other theaters. I think next year I want to do a massive Africa Corps project and 8th Army project. I love the 8th Army, the Desert Rats. One of my favorite armies in history, and my grandfather was a member of the 8th Army too. So it has special significance to me. So I want to do a big 8th Army project. I want to do a big Africa Corps project, and I almost want to do that at the company scale. And I want to do a ton of these half tracks. I friggin' love the half tracks. So I want to go all Perry for that project, and I want to get the Blitzkrieg vehicle half tracks. And they have the 251. Man, I'm getting my half tracks mixed up. I can't remember if this model is the 250 or the 251. But either way, the other model is like the Scout model. This is the one I'm talking about. That's like maybe like this long. And the Blitzkrieg miniatures have an awesome one of those. So I want to do like some really mobile armies with lots of half tracks and tanks and everything. Just really, you know, build out actual tank platoons. Have all the, you know, have a company with full support or something. I think that would be awesome. So anyways, I've rambled on long enough. I hope you're enjoying your week. I'm glad I got to finish this army. I love the figures. I hate the friggin' basing, and I'm kicking myself for doing that. It's like, geez, crow, dude. Why did you do that? So once I get these cleared off my desk, my plan, I think, for the next, period of time, you know, if I get anything else done in April, that will be a miracle. And honestly, I probably will, because painting is my procrastination. I know some people have a hard time hitting the bench. You know, if I'm not hitting the bench, honestly, I've got friggin' shit to do that I don't want to do. That's kind of the reality. So this is my procrastination. This is my escape. It's the way I de-stress. So I'm always have to pull myself away from the bench. I'm a pretty productive painter. So yeah, you know, I think maybe the goal for the rest of April, and I like saying these things to the camera to just get them set in stone almost, is finish up the Viking, you know, getting all the shields and bases painted. I did one unit over there that you've seen, and I got more of those guys to base, a lot more. And then I also, you know, then we got to do the archers, the Viking archers, and the armored guys. If I can get all these guys based, you know, all the Vikings based and start on the archers, that would be great for April. May, I think things get a lot easier in life for me. The goal in May, or at least in late May, early June, is in 4 weeks. I want to paint 100 French and Indian War miniatures in 1 month. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Clean out that project in one fell swoop. Will that happen? I don't know. Stay tuned for the updates. Thanks for watching as always. Over the coming months, I really want to improve my channel content and quality rather. I really want to improve my channel quality, make this a channel worth watching. And thanks for the people who do watch and leave a comment. I really appreciate. But I do want to kind of bring this channel to the next level. That's what I'm saying here. So if you have any advice or feedback, stuff that I do that drives you crazy, let me know. Stuff that you think is good, that you'd like to see more of, let me know. And yeah, I think the French and Indian War stuff, I'm going to be producing a lot more like content for that. Take you through my army planning, take you through the theater that I'm going to be modeling, take you through the units and the unit histories and things. And I wanted to do this with the Germans, but really my time commitments right now, I was like, if I'm painting these, I just want to get them done. I just want to get these painted and done. And I did it quickly, and that's just kind of how things went. The French and Indian War stuff, I want to explore it a little bit more with you guys, take you through the campaigns, take you through everything. So thanks for watching again. I know I've said that like 5 times now. I suck at cutting myself off. Probably should work on that. See you later, and have a great afternoon. All right, take care.